Hi everyone. So in this lecture we are going to discuss calculation of the equivalence conductance, variation of the specific and equivalence conductance with the concentration. So here the calculation of the equivalence conductance. All of you know that the equivalence conductance, it is the conductance of the volume of the solution containing the 1 gram equivalent of the electrolyte which are placed between the two electrodes which are generally 1 centimeter apart from each other. So here calculation of the equivalence conductance. So here to calculate the equivalence conductance of the given solution, it is necessary to calculate specific conductance or the specific resistance of the solution from its measured resistance. So friends, here if we have to determine equivalence conductance of the solution, first of all we have to calculate the specific conductance or specific resistance of the solution from the measured resistance of that solution. So we have the equation capital R, that is resistance of the solution, is equal to rho into L by A. Rho is the specific resistance. So L is the distance between the two electrodes, A is the cross sectional area. So here to calculate the specific resistance from the measured resistance R, it is necessary to know the ratio L by A. So here with the help of the conductimeter we can measure the resistance of the solution. Directly we can substitute the value of the R here, and here from the R, if we have to calculate the rho, so here we should know the L and A. So here the ratio L and A. How to calculate ratio L and A? So here for a particular cell, the ratio of the distance of the separation of the electrode L and their cross sectional area A, it is always fixed, and here it is called as the cell constant. So here the cell constant is equal to L upon A. L is the distance between the two platinum electrode in the conductivity cell. A is the cross sectional area of the electrode. So here the cell constant is equal to L upon A. Generally L, it is expressed in terms of the centimeter, and the cross sectional area, it is expressed in terms of the centimeter square. So that here the unit of the cell constant, it is the centimeter inverse. So here after every measurement of the R, the direct determination of the L and it will spoil the electrode. So here after every measurement of the resistance, if we try to measure the distance between the two platinum electrode in the conductivity cell, definitely the electrode may be spoiled. So to determine the cell constant indirectly, the resistance R of the solution of known specific resistance is measured. So friends, here when we consider the conductometer, the cell constant term, it is very important. So here two methods are available for the determination of the cell constant. So here cell constant is defined by the equation L by A, or here we can say that the electrode in the cell are not exactly 1 centimeter apart and may not have surface area 1 centimeter square. So observed resistance or observed conductance is not equal to the specific conductance, but it is a proportional to it. So friends, here the distance between the two platinum electrode, it is not exactly 1 centimeter, and their cross sectional area, it is also not equal to 1 centimeter square. So here the observed conductance is not equal to the specific conductance, but it is a proportional to it, and the factor which decide its proportionality, such a factor, it is called as the cell constant. Generally here the two methods are available. So the first method is directly we can substitute the value of the L and A. If we have the values of L and A, directly we can substitute the value of the L and A, and then we can determine the cell constant, and that value it can be used here. So here if we know R, then if we know the L upon A, that is the cell constant, we can calculate the specific resistance of the solution. So the first method, directly we can substitute the value of the L and A. So here the second method is which is the indirect method. For the determination of the cell constant, aqueous solution of the KCl of known specific resistance and having the fixed concentration is used. So here in the second method we have to use the KCl solution for the determination of the cell constant whose specific resistance is known. So here the resistance of the KCl solution is determined. So with the help of the conductor, here we have to measure the resistance of the KCl solution, and here the cell constant is known by the relation. So here this is the relation, R is equal to rho into L by A. L by A is the cell constant, so L by A is equal to cell constant is equal to R into rho. So here cell constant is equal to resistance of the KCl solution divided by specific resistance of the KCl solution. So here R upon rho. So directly we can substitute the value of the resistance of the KCl solution, and here the specific resistance of the KCl solution is a known value. Directly we can substitute these two values, and here we get the values of the cell constant, and cell constant generally it is expressed in terms of the centimeter inverse. So here determination of the cell constant. Then here the specific resistance rho is equal to observed resistance R divided by the cell constant. So here this relation can be written from this equation, that is the cell constant is equal to R divided by rho, or here R is equal to rho into L by A. So here the L by A is the cell constant. So here cell constant is equal to capital R divided by rho. So here rho is the specific resistance. So here the specific resistance is equal to observed resistance R divided by the cell constant. So here the reciprocal of the rho, it gives the specific conductance. So here when we determine the specific resistance, so once again all of you know that how the specific conductance is defined. The specific conductance, it is denoted by symbol Ls, and Ls is equal to 1 upon rho. So here if we determine the specific resistance, that is rho, then from this rho we can find out the value of the Ls, and from the Ls the equivalence conductance lambda of the solution is calculated by using the equation or by using the relation. So this is the relation which is used to determine the equivalence conductance. So lambda is equal to 1000 divided by C into Ls. What is the Ls? So Ls is equal to specific conductance of the solution, while the C is the concentration, and generally it is expressed in terms of normality. So here lambda is equal to 1000 divided by C multiplied by Ls. Substituting the Ls and C, we can determine the lambda, that is the equivalence conductance. So friends, this is the method for the determination of the equivalence conductance of the solution. So here there are various steps. So first step is we have to determine the cell constant. Second step is we have to determine the specific resistance, and the third step is from the specific resistance we have to find out the specific conductance, and directly we can substitute the value of the specific conductance as well as the concentration of the solution, and we can determine the lambda, that is the equivalence conductance. Then here next one is the conductivity or the conductance water. Generally friends, when we use the conductometer or when we perform the experiments with the help of the conductometer or conductivity meter, we have to use the conductivity water or the conductance water. So what is meant by conductivity water and how it is prepared? So here generally the solution used in the conductance measurement, it is prepared in the conductivity water, and the conductance water arises, or the conductance in the water arises mainly due to the dissolved carbon dioxide, and which form the carbonic acid and which dissociate to the small extent, giving H plus and the HCO3 minus ion, that is the carbonate ion. So here H plus and the HCO3 minus ions. So here friends, the conductance in water arises because of this H plus and the HCO3 minus ions. So here the conductivity water is obtained by distilling once again the good distilled water containing the small amount of the potassium permanganate or the small amount of the NaOH from the hard glass tube or the hard glass retort. So here this is the procedure or this is the method for the preparation of the conductivity water. So here we have to redistill the distilled water by adding the small amount of the potassium permanganate or by adding the small amount of the NaOH. So here there should not be conductance due to the dissolved impurity. So here the dissolved impurity can be removed just by redistilling the distilled water by adding the small amount of KMnO4 as well as the NaOH. So what is the role of the KMnO4 as well as what is the role of the NaOH? So here all of you know that this KMnO4, it is oxidizing agent, and here KMnO4 because of the KMnO4, oxidation of the organic particle takes place and there is the evaluation of the carbon dioxide. So this is the role of the potassium permanganate. Then here the NaOH, again it is the base. What is the role of the NaOH? So here NaOH is used just to neutralize the mineral acids present in the water. So this is the role of the NaOH, that is the mineral acids are neutralized. So here how the conductivity water is prepared? So conductivity water is prepared, just we have to redistill the distilled water by adding the small amount of the potassium permanganate or by adding the small amount of the NaOH. And here the specific conductance of such water is near about 0.8 into 10 raised to minus 6 ohm inverse centimeter inverse at 18 degree Celsius. So friends, here when we use the conductivity meter or when we use the conductometer while preparing the solution, always we have to use the conductivity water or the conductance water. We never use the tap water for the preparation of the solution. We have to use the conductivity or the conductance water for the preparation of the solution. Then the next point, the variation of the equivalence conductance and specific conductance with the concentration. That is what is the effect of the concentration on the equivalence conductance, that is a lambda, as well as the specific conductance, that is a Ls. So here the dependence of the specific conductance and equivalence conductance on the concentration of the solution, it is discussed below. So first of all, let us discuss what is the effect of the concentration on the specific conductance or dependence of the specific conductance on the concentration. So here the specific conductance depends on the number of ions per unit volume of the solution. That is very important. The specific conductance depends on the number of ions per unit volume of the solution, and the equivalence conductance on the other hand, it depends on the specific conductance and the solution concentration. So here when the concentration of the solution is increased, generally the number of ions per unit volume is also increases, and here the specific conductance of the solution therefore increases. So here what is the effect of concentration on the specific conductance? Generally here the specific conductance depends on the number of ions per unit volume, and here as the number of ions per unit volume increases, the specific conductance value is also increases. So here the rate of the increase of the specific conductance with the concentration, it differ in case of the strong and the weak electrolyte. So once again, all of you know that what is by strong electrolyte. So strong electrolyte, in case of the strong electrolyte, there is a complete dissociation or there is a complete ionization. But here in case of the weak electrolyte, there is an incomplete dissociation or there is a partial dissociation. So strong electrolyte is completely dissociated. The number of ions per unit volume increases proportionality with the solution of the concentration. That means here as the concentration of the solution in case of the strong electrolyte increases, the number of ions are also increases. While in case of the weak electrolyte is partially dissociated, and due to this there is an incomplete dissociation, and the specific conductance has low value in case of the weak electrolyte. Similarly, the number of ions does not increase markedly with the concentration, and therefore the increase in the specific conductance with increase in the concentration in this case is marginal. So here when we consider the effect of concentration on the specific conductance in case of the strong and the weak electrolyte, in both the cases here we can say that as the concentration increases, here the specific conductance value is also increases. But here the increase in the specific conductance in case of the strong electrolyte is large or it is high, but here in case of the weak electrolyte the increase is not large. So here the increase in the specific conductance in case of the weak electrolyte, it is a small due to the incomplete or due to the partial dissociation. But generally here we can say that as we increase the concentration, there is an increase in the specific conductance. Then the second point is dependence of the equivalence conductance on the concentration. So here equivalence conductance invariably increases with the decrease in the concentration. So here that is a decrease with the dilution. So here on the dilution, the number of ions per unit volume decreases, and hence the specific conductance of the solution decreases. But this decrease is more compensated by the increase in the factor 1 upon C in the equation of lambda. So here the equivalence conductance invariably increases with the decrease in the concentration. So here we are going to consider the decrease in concentration in terms of dilution. So here the nature of the lambda versus dilution. Lambda is the equivalence conductance, and here the dilution, that is the V. So this is the graph, that is the lambda versus dilution. So here in this way the dilution increases, that means here the concentration decreases. So this is the nature of the graph. So here as the dilution increases, that means as the concentration decreases, here the value of the lambda is increases, and here finally we get the constant value. So here after certain limit there is no change in the value of the lambda. that is the value of the lambda, that is the equivalence conductance. It has the constant value, and this constant value of the lambda, it is called as the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution. But generally here we can say that as the dilution increases or as the concentration decreases, there is an increase in the equivalence conductance. So here, as the graph shows, lambda increases as V increases, that is the dilution increases and approaches the limiting value in extremely dilute solution. So equivalence conductance of the aqueous solution of different electrolyte having the different concentration, it is given in the table. So here in the table we are going to consider the various electrolyte, strong electrolyte as well as the weak electrolyte, and their values of the equivalence conductance at 25 degree Celsius. So let us consider the table. So here HCl, KCl, NaOH and acetic acid. So friends, in the first column there is a concentration. Then here HCl, KCl and NaOH, these are the strong electrolyte, while acetic acid it is the weak electrolyte. So here the concentrations are 0.1, then 0.05, 0.01, then 0.001 and 0.0005. So here let us consider the case of the HCl first of all. So here the value is 392.32 when the concentration is 0.1. Then here as the concentration decreases, here 0.05 the value is 399. Then 0.01 it is 412, 0.01 421, then 0.0005 422. This is about the HCl. Let us consider the case of NaOH here. So for the 0.1 the value is 221, 0.05 it is 227, then 0.01 it is 237, 0.001 245, then 0.005 it is 246. So these are the values of the strong electrolyte. So what is the important here? Let us consider the value of the equivalence conductance for the acetic acid, and acetic acid is the weak electrolyte. So here at 0.1 the value is 5.20. Then here when we decrease the concentration or when we increase the dilution, that is a 0.05, the value is 7.36. Then here at 0.01 it is a 16.30. Then 0.001 it is a 49.20, and 0.005 the value is 67.70. So here these are the values of the equivalence conductance for the strong electrolyte as well as the weak electrolyte. HCl, KCl and NaOH, these three are the strong electrolyte, while acetic acid it is the weak electrolyte. So here from the table there are three conclusions. So here the first conclusion is, in case of the strong electrolyte such as the HCl, then KCl or NaOH, lambda does not increases appreciably with the dilution. That means here practically the value of the lambda is same as we increase the dilution. So let us consider once again in case of the NaOH. So here 221, here 227, 237, 245, 246. Practically all the values are same. Here in case of the KCl, it is 128, 133, 141, 146 and 147. That means here practically for all the concentration or as we increase the dilution, there is no large change in the equivalence conductance in case of the strong electrolytes such as the HCl, KCl and the NaOH. So this is the first observation. Then the second conclusion or observation from the table, for the strong electrolyte in fairly concentrated solution, the lambda values are high in comparison with the weak electrolyte. So here for the concentrated solution, when we compare the value of the equivalence conductance for the strong electrolyte and the weak electrolyte, so what is the observation? For the strong electrolyte, for higher concentrated solution, the lambda values are high. So let us consider once again the table. So here this is a higher concentration in this table, 0.1. For HCl the value is 392, for KCl it is a 128, for NaOH it is a 221, but for acetic acid it is only 5.20. So as compared to these three values, the 5.20 it is very small number. So this is the second conclusion or this is the second observation from the table. And the last observation, in case of the weak electrolyte like acetic acid, in fairly concentrated solution, lambda values are low. These values increases markedly with the dilution, especially in very dilute solution. It is observed that equivalence conductance for the above solution is almost triple when the concentration changes from 0.01 to the 0.001 gram equivalence per liter. Once again consider the table. So here when the concentration of acetic acid is 0.1, value is just 5.20. When it is a 0.05, it is a 7. when it is a 0.01 it is a 16, but here from 0.01 when we change the dilution or when we change the concentration from 0.01 to 0.001 the value is 49. So here values from 0.05 to 0.01 value is double, then from 0.01 to 0.001 value is triple. So here it is a 49, and for 0.005 it is a 67.70. So this is the third conclusion or the third observation from the table. So here in case of the dilute solution, it is observed that the equivalence conductance for the solution, the values may be double or values may be triple. So here this is the conclusion or observation from the table. Then here the variation of the lambda with the concentration C, it is given by the equation. What is that equation? So lambda is equal to lambda 0 minus B into under root C. Once again friend, the variation of the equivalence conductance with the concentration, it is given by the equation, that is the lambda is equal to lambda 0 minus B under root C, where C is the concentration, B is the constant, lambda is the equivalence conductance, and lambda 0 is the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution. So here lambda 0 is the equivalence conductance at infinite dilution. The equation is of the form of the y is equal to mx plus c. So what is the value of y? Y is equal to lambda. What is the value of c? C is equal to lambda 0. Then what is the value of mx? It is a minus b under root c. So here equation is of the form of the y is equal to mx plus c, and therefore the graph of the lambda versus under root c, it is expected to be straight line. So here all of you know that the y is equal to mx plus c, it is the equation of the straight line. When we plot the graph of y versus x, generally the nature of the graph is straight line. So here when we plot the graph of lambda versus under root c, so here the straight line is expected. So here this expectation is found to be true for the dilute solution of only strong electrolyte, but not for the weak electrolyte. So let us consider this graph. This is the equivalence conductance, that is the lambda. Here it is the under root c. So here this is the graph for the SCl. SCl is a strong electrolyte, while KCl it is also strong electrolyte. So here the nature of the graph is straight line in case of the strong electrolyte, but here acetic acid it is the weak electrolyte. So here the nature of the graph is not straight line in case of the weak electrolyte. So here this is the graph for the lambda versus under root c for the strong as well as the weak electrolyte. So friends, in this lecture we have discussed the various concepts which are related to the electrolytic conductance, such as the calculation of the equivalence conductance, then variation of the specific and equivalence conductance with the concentration. So thank you.